last segment, and then the Coach's Show comes up at 8 o'clock. Stay tuned for that, my friends. So this weekend, it's interesting, right? So I'm going to talk about two very good friends of mine, right, and what they did this weekend. Both of them now told me in advance they were doing this, and it's kind of interesting. It's really cool to be in on this type of news early that you have to keep a secret, right? It's really cool because you feel a part of the whole thing, right? And so, and both of them, when they told me what they were going to be doing coming up soon, when they both told me, I said, well, I suggested to both of them, why don't you do it on my show, right? And they kind of, that'd be cool. They're being nice. Oh, that'd be cool. That's probably the most romantic thing in the world, but that'll be cool. But they both had plans, and they told me the plans, right? What they planned to do. And I said, oh man, this is so cool. I can't wait. And so, first of all, I want to shout out State Senator Shawn Still, right? Who got down on her knee at the Capitol where they met and proposed to Winslow Ann, right? She got proposed to. And just phenomenal pictures, beautiful woman. Met her at the tailgate that we did for the Georgia game, and just I'm saying her Facebook, Winslow Ann, but everyone knows what I'm talking about. But he proposed, and I think it's wonderful, right? Got down on the knee, the whole nine, right? Did it right, right? And very happy couple, beautiful looking couple. Shout out to them, right? Love these stories, right? Then the other person, so our good friend and coworker, Dave Cohen, who works here at the station CMG. Dave told me he was planning on doing it. I begged him to do it on the show. But again, it's not the most romantic thing. As I think about it, like in the moment when someone says it to me, I'm thinking, hey, be cool to do it on the show. Yeah, it'd be cool from you, Shelly, not for us, right? Not in this private moment. It'd be really cool for you, but yeah, not thousands of people listening to me saying getting on a knee on a radio show to propose. Yeah, but I have these ideas. Not all of them are good, but I'm glad people don't listen to me, right? But Dave Cohen got on a knee and proposed to Betty. They're out of town, and Betty is let me tell you, both of these ladies make my two friends, Dave Cohen and State Senator Shawn Still, better men. That's how you know the mark of a good woman. Make them both better men. And I want to say shout out to both of those ladies for saying yes to my brothers when they asked for your hand in marriage. Because you both these guys both outkicked their coverage, by the way. Both women are way too fine for my two friends. And I say it as a compliment if people listening don't understand what I'm saying, right? But more, all joking aside, let me say to both of these guys, to both of these ladies, you make my friends better men. And they're already great men. You make them better, and that's a testament to both of you ladies. And so God bless both couples. I'm so happy for both of you. And now this is not for them. This is for, I think, thousands of men out there. This is not for these two couples, but because they just did it and I'm talking about it, I want to bring up this issue. I brought it up before. I want to bring it up again. This has nothing to do with Dave, Shawn, Betty, and Ann, right? It's nothing to do with any of them, right? This is a Shelley thing and other men out there. In Georgia, the law says, right, and I'm talking to Shawn Still, so I want to see him, off of this bill. The law says in Georgia that if you get on a knee and propose, and for whatever reason it doesn't work out, the law sees the ring as a gift, right? So not these four. These four are going to get married. I'm going to be at both weddings, and they're going to last forever. I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to this guys that I've heard this from other guys. I've seen it before, not in my life, but in other people's life. They told me this story. I know this is true. So because it's seen as that it's seen the ring, you can spend $10, $15, $20, $30, $40,000 on a ring. And let's say the wedding doesn't happen. The woman, beyond her own upbringing, is not obligated to give you back the ring. Now, some women will. Some women will say, hey, honey, we've been 7 months, 8 months, 9 months, 2 years, 4 years, 3 years. It's not going to happen. Here's your ring back. Some women will do that. But a lot of women see it as, I got 30 stacks. I got 15 stacks. I got 10 stacks. I got a ring sitting here worth that much. They're not legally obligated. And if you try and take them to court, I've heard this from men, the law says it's a gift. So once you get on a knee, you've presented this woman with a promise to marry, but it's seen as a gift, which is unfair because it's not a gift. It's a promissory note that a man has gone to D. Geller and Son and purchased, right, to get the perfect ring, to propose saying, hey, I want to marry you. Would you marry me? Here's my promise. Here's my promise. I've made my commitment in financial in buying this ring to promise to get married. But there's no obligation on the woman's part if it doesn't happen. Now, if it doesn't happen because a guy cheated or did something wrong, whatever, but if it just doesn't happen, it just falls apart in the planning stages and it never happens, beyond the fact that the woman, should say, here's your ring back, this is not going to happen. If she doesn't have that kind of, I don't know what you want to call it, but if she's not built that way, right, there should be a recourse for the man to be able to go. So I would like to see a law change. The session started today. I've said this before. I'll say it again. You don't have to, call it the man's law, right? Call it the man law, right? But where you rewrite the law to where a engagement ring is a promise. It's not a gift. It's a promise. If it doesn't work out, the man can ask for the ring back. And if you don't want to give it back, he can take you to court and you argue it out in court. But as it stands now, it's seen as a gift. The court will throw it out. The judge will say, hey, sir, you gave a gift. You gambled. So you gambled twice. You gambled by getting on a knee. She might say no. And then when she says yes, you're gambling with the money. So you're out the money. It's not fair. So they should pass this man law, and that's it. But that was not for Dave. That was not for Betty. That was not for State Senator Sean Still. That was not for Ann. They don't fall in that category. These two marriages will happen. They will last forever because God has blessed these two young men with beautiful angels. Beautiful, brilliant, hardworking, committed angels. And guys everywhere are jealous. Everywhere. Well, except for the married men like Magic Mike. But guys everywhere are jealous. We want the same thing you guys have found. And I say God bless you both. And I wish you all God's mercies. I wish you all good luck. I wish you all God's blessings. And just make sure that I get my invitation because I love a good wedding. There's nothing like a good wedding. Open bar, free food, music, there's nothing better. And if you come solo, $75, $80 for open bar, free food, and dancing, it's a good deal. Right? I mean, $75, $80, that's good for gift giving, right? I think if you take somebody $150 per couple, maybe $200, $100 a piece, depending on where it is. If it's like a destination wedding, you don't have to give anything because you already paid for your airline and air. So you guys should have but one of you should have a destination wedding. I tell you where. Belize would be great. Belize would be great. Turks and Caicos would be a great idea for a destination. I'm just saying. But wherever you guys have it, I will be there. Even if you don't send me an invitation, I'm going to find out where it is and I'm going to crash. But I want to be there because I want to see love. Love is still in the air. Congratulations to Sean. Congratulations to Dave. Congratulations to Betty. Congratulations to Ann. Congratulations to all four of you. God bless you all. I'm very, 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 very happy for you. And I love love. I absolutely love love. Love, love. And I saw it this weekend. Two good friends of mine, both telling me they were going to do it too. I didn't know they were going to do it on the same weekend. It's great stuff. Great stuff. So Bulldogs coming up next. I do want to share one thing with you guys. I know there's some idea out there, don't know where it came from, that somehow Shelley's not a conservative anymore. Shelley's this, Shelley. I want to explain something to everybody, okay? I've said it before. I want to keep saying it because it needs to be drilled into some of you guys' heads, okay? I argue. I'm in my house by myself sometime, and I get on my knees to pray, and I will hear God tell me to do something, or if I'm praying on something, God, what should I do? And I will hear the voice of the Lord telling me what the answer to my question. I will argue sometime with God. I don't mean argue like, I can't believe. No, I will debate. I said, no, God, but I really don't want to do that. Well, I think you should. I will debate with God. What makes you think for 1 second that I won't disagree with the President of the United States? For real. My mom was my biggest cheerleader, my biggest supporter. She prayed constantly for me throughout my life. I disagreed with my mom sometimes. Ooh. I mean, this idea that Shelley disagreed with the president. Shelley said bad things about the... What? How does that make anybody not who they were the day before? I say all this to say some of you really have to grow up. No, it's not about agreement or disagreement. It's not about policy or not policy. It's not about Trump or not Trump. It's not about right or left. It's seriously, honest to God, it's about maturity. If you think for a second that because someone disagrees with you or someone else that you like, that somehow they're a bad person now, and you just spent the last several years listening to that person and you love them and now you don't like them, that's immature. Forget ignorant, forget not bright, it's immature. We need to grow up, all of us, myself included. We all need to grow up. Georgia Bulldogs. Coming up next, we will be back tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Know this in your hearts, my friends. God loves you.